You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
There's been a gathering darkness in our politics in recent years.
Coming up nearly 2 weeks later, the midterm elections are finally over. We'll have the latest numbers in the race between incumbent Senator Bill Nelson and outgoing Governor Rick Scott.
Plus, officials are looking into 2 death investigations from over the weekend. What we know so far.
And All Faiths Food Bank is in the holiday spirit, what they plan on giving to families in need. Good morning, Suncoast starts right now, and the week starts right now as well for us. Good morning, 5 o'clock. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jess Dodrick. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you're up and awake this morning for what you can expect forecast-wise. Let's head over to Josh Stone, who's in for John Scalzi this morning.
All right, thanks, Jess and Ray. Yeah, our temperature right now is 67 degrees, mostly cloudy skies on this Monday morning, 64% of the dew point right now, or 64 degrees is the dew point, 90% is humidity. There's a possibility of some light showers that will develop as we go through the afternoon hours, but as you can see, the radar up and down the Suncoast is quiet at this time. Other conditions, well, in Bradenton, 66, in Venice, 69 degrees, but the same story is mostly cloudy skies across the board here along the Suncoast. And that's going to be the case today as we do have a little bit moisture above us. As we go through the day, clouds stay with us. We're going to climb into the upper 70s and lower 80s for highs today, and a very slight chance for light showers later on this afternoon. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Josh. 5:01 right now. Here's a live look at the Green Bridge that connects Palmetto to downtown Bradenton. It'll be down to one lane in the southbound portion until December, so be aware of that. That will cause issues every morning in the commute. Awfully busy bridge, and there's a scene right now. Not too bad at this point. All right, let's go on to the maps. Speaking of Manatee County, and you don't see any issues right there on the bridges right now. The only red per se, something downtown on Manatee Avenue West, and also State Road 70 east of the interstate, just near that Walmart Plaza out there. And then farther south, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Not much to speak of there so far, not seen University today. And then farther south, we'll check that map, and it looks like it's all clear at 5:02 on this Monday morning. Well, the results are finally in after a complicated election recount. Both Bill Nelson and Andrew Gillum have conceded to their respective opponents over the weekend.
Our Marla Spence joins us now in the studio with the latest on the story. Marla.
Jess and Ray, after a controversial election recount, we finally have a new governor and U.S. Senate elects. Now, this comes after a week of the state's election recounts. Now, the state recount came to an end yesterday with the deadline for the manual recount in the U.S. Senate race between Democrat Senator Bill Nelson and Republican Governor Rick Scott. The results of the recount show Scott with a lead of more than 10,000 votes over incumbent Nelson. Before the completion of the manual recount, Scott had a lead of more than 12,000 votes. Now, Nelson sat down for interviews yesterday to talk about his concession.
I was not victorious in this race, but I still wish to strongly reaffirm the cause for which we fought. A public office is a public trust. We must end all forms of voter suppression, make it easier for Americans to vote, and honor the ideal that we are governed by the majority and not the minority rule.
Meanwhile, on Saturday, Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, the state's Democratic gubernatorial candidate, conceded to Republican Ron DeSantis. We'll have more on those results coming up at 5:45. Ray and Jess.
Thank you, Jess. Marla, another recount we're tracking, of course, the race for Florida's Agriculture Commissioner. After a recount, results show that Nikki Fried defeated Republican Matt Caldwell by less than 7,000 votes. If the results are indeed certified tomorrow, Fried will replace Republican Adam Putnam in January.
Developing overnight, Broward County Supervisor of Elections Brenda Snipes has stepped down. Her resignation announcement came just hours after the county certified manual recounts on Sunday. Snipes worked as Broward's elections leader for more than 20 years. Her office was criticized during the midterm election after it failed to submit machine recount results in time last week. Snipes admitted over the weekend that her office misplaced more than 2,000 ballots during recounts, but she said it had no impact on the final numbers.
Another developing story, hundreds of migrants from Central America have arrived at the U.S.-Mexican border. With thousands more expected, Mexico's border cities are concerned about how they'll handle the influx of people. Mexican police are seen in this video guarding an anti-migrant protest in Tijuana.
Right now, we are monitoring two separate death investigations that happened here on the Suncoast over the weekend. The first in Manatee County on 17th Street East in Bradenton. Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help finding the person who shot and killed a man who was found dead inside of a car Saturday night. Witnesses told detectives they heard gunshots, then a car crashed into a ditch right outside of their house. Inside of that car, a man was found shot to death.
At the time, I thought it was my wife in the garage and something might have fell, so I kind of got up, and then by that time she just hollered at me and said there was a car in our yard.
This is Manatee County's second death investigation in the last week. Deputies are also searching for answers after a man's body was found burning along the side of a road in Mayaca City.
And another death investigation, very unusual one in Northport, where a husband is suspected of pushing down his wife, killing her. Police were called to a house in Grand Paradiso about 8:30 Saturday night. That's where they found a 72-year-old woman who was injured after a fall. She was taken to the hospital and died the next day of her injuries. At the time of her fall, the woman had been taking care of her ailing 76-year-old husband. Police say her husband pushed her down while he was receiving care. The husband was also admitted to the hospital.
A brand new method of analyzing DNA evidence is cracking cold cases wide open nationwide, including one right here in Sarasota County. Tonight, we're taking an in-depth look at genetic genealogy. The technology has solved 20 rape and murder cases to date. In just the 6 months, it's been used as a tool by law enforcement, including one right here in our backyards. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office arresting Luke Fleming earlier this year for the 1999 rape and murder of Deborah Dalzell. Without genetic genealogy, Fleming would still be walking the streets.
It's becoming more and more popular. Of course, every time we solve a case and someone announces, I'm not sure we could have solved this without these new tools, then other agencies start thinking, well, are there cases that we have that have DNA and all we need is that one new piece of information? I mean, these detectives, they never give up on these cases, but when they don't have anything new to work with, there's only so much you can do.
Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, I will break down this new technology, explaining exactly how it works. I'll also show you how DNA technology is evolving to help law enforcement find killers. Make sure to tune in at 6 o'clock tonight for that special report.
A discussion today in the city of Sarasota about the rules for short-term rentals. The Sarasota City Commission will talk today about changing the policy. The current rule requires renters to stay at least 7 days in a home. Those who want to reduce it say it would allow more Airbnb and other short-term rentals. Opponents like this man you're about to hear from says it might commercialize some neighborhoods.
It's hard enough to enforce what's going on with the short-term rental rules on a one-week basis. Can you imagine on a nightly basis where an Airbnb could come in and basically rent out rooms on a nightly basis, completely, we believe, disrupting the character of our residential neighborhood, not just our neighborhood, but neighborhoods all across Sarasota.
And that is one side of it. Commission meets today at 1:30 p.m. Today, Pineview School will celebrate its 50th anniversary with the groundbreaking of its Legacy Garden. School officials say the garden will help celebrate all of the accomplishments made by current and former students, staff, and school leaders. It takes place at the school in Osprey at 10 o'clock this morning. Pineview is one of the highest-ranked public schools in the country.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, All Faiths Food Bank hopes to distribute more than 7,000 turkeys and sides to families in need this holiday season. Thanks to a $35,000 grant from the Community Foundation of Sarasota County, the food bank will hand out more turkey dinners than it ever has. Turkeys will be distributed through the food bank's mobile pantries. The largest distribution will take place tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Roberts Arena in Sarasota. All Faiths Food Bank has also provided turkeys for families in need in Manatee and DeSoto counties.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Safety is such an important part of a bus driver's role.
A bus driver goes above and beyond to save his students from the California wildfires.
Coming up a little later in the hour, if you're headed out of town for Thanksgiving, what AAA is doing to ensure you get there safely.
5:09 on this Monday morning after a beautiful weekend here. We'll check the forecast locally, but first, here's a shot of downtown Atlanta. 44 chilly degrees there. They'll see a high of 64 as far as our local scene on the Suncoast. For that, In for John Scalzi is Josh Stone.
Yeah, we'll get a few peaks of sunshine today. We're calling for partly to mostly cloudy skies, and temperatures will be in the upper 70s along the coast and the lower 80s inland. A pretty mild day, and there's a chance for some light shower activity later on this afternoon. We'll break down the forecast and, of course, have your Turkey Day forecast in a few minutes from now. Stay with us.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
It's year-end clearance time at every Gettle location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Gettle.com. And Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Gettle dealership near you. Gettle's got it. At Gettle.com.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Happy Monday to you. John Scalzi has a day off. I'm in for him. Anyway, we're looking at our radar right now, and nothing to show you here. It's pretty quiet. There's some shower activity off the east coast of Florida. But as we go through the day, with the heating of the day, there's a possibility of some light sprinkles that could develop, but that's really about it as far as any sort of shower activity for us. As far as our current temperatures up and down the Suncoast, in the mid to upper 60s at this time. Anywhere you go here along the Suncoast, 69 in Inglewood, 66 in Sarasota, as well as over here in Bradenton. Cortez is at 69 at this time. Winds right now out of the north, not much though, fairly light, about 5 miles per hour inland along the coast. Siesta Key, 7 miles per hour sustained coming out of the northeast at this time. And you can see also in Rotunda, 6 miles per hour is the wind. Our weather headlines for today, this is what we have. Few light sprinkles, a few peaks of sunshine as well, partly to mostly cloudy skies as we go into Thanksgiving, which is this Thursday. Where is the year gone? Boy, is it flown by, but no pun intended, flown by with the Thanksgiving coming up. But anyway, a little Monday morning humor there. Mild conditions for our Thanksgiving. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Then, as far as best chance of widespread rainfall, that comes our way with the cold front tracking in on Friday night and into Saturday. About a 50% chance of widespread shower activity. Boy, is it cold up to the north. 24 degrees in Chicago right now, 25 in Kansas City, it's 36 in Dallas. Suncoast, place to be right now. Mid to upper 60s at this time. As far as what's happening on the big picture here, see a cold front sliding down from the north here in the upper plains, producing actually some snow showers here in Wisconsin and northern Illinois. We also have some shower activity here in the western Gulf of Mexico around the southeast portions of Texas. And for us, like I said, just a little front coming on by to bring us some light showers. Not a lot of moisture for this front to work with. That's why we're calling for a very slight chance for shower activity, maybe around Charlotte County later on this afternoon, about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. We're still in hurricane season. It wraps up officially on November 30th. And as you can see, as we go through November, well, the activity declines. And that's evidence of it right now because we have nothing that's in the tropics as far as any sort of anything to worry about. As far as the boaters, today, expect a northerly wind at 10 knots, seas 1 to 2 feet with light conditions in the bays. There are some areas of patchy tide, so watch, red tide that is, so watch out for that. Mostly cloudy skies, temperature at the beach today 78 degrees. Your high today officially tops out around 80 degrees, possibly a degree or two warmer inland, a degree or two cooler along the coast. As far as the outlook goes over the next several days, pretty much mild conditions as we get into our Turkey Day on Thursday. A high is 77. That's fairly nice with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Then that front I talked about kind of tracks down from the north and the northwest, arrives in our front door Friday night into Saturday, clouds up the skies, brings us about a 40 to 50% chance of widespread showers and thunderstorms as well. But as you can see, the temperatures pretty much average for the next several days, upper 70s for highs. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Josh. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. We begin in Manatee County. You can see your usual delays on State Road 70 as you head eastbound toward US 301. Also some slight delays if you're heading southbound on US 301 just after you pass over State Road 70. Other than that, things seem to be running smoothly in Manatee County. In the northern half of Sarasota County, your, again, usual delays at US 41 near the intersection of US 301, where those two major roadways come together there, but nothing major to report in the northern half of Sarasota County. And in the southern half of the county, just some slight delays on US 41 here and there as you're traveling northbound in the area. But other than that, things are running smoothly at 5:18 on your Monday morning. A California bus driver's bravery and creativity helped a group of students escape a deadly wildfire. He literally took the clothes off of his back to make respirators for the children. Paul Verkeman shows us what happened.
We had a bus driver from heaven.
Yeah. Good to see you.
As the campfire raged, Kevin McKay, a few months into his job for the Paradise School District, braced for the bus drive of his life and the lives of 24 others.
Well, it was time to go.
Stranded children and 2 teachers jumped on.
There were 22 kids, and my first thought was just getting them on the bus and getting them out of there because the sky was really menacing.
It was so crazy, and there were like fires left and right. Everywhere you looked, there was like smoke everywhere and people trying to get out, and it was like really hard.
Were you scared?
Very scared, but I tried to just like calm down because that would just make it worse for everybody else.
We started getting fire on both sides of the bus. Kids starting to get pretty antsy. At a couple points, I think that, we had some honest discussions about, is this the time to get out of the bus?
Smoke seeped into the bus. Children started inhaling and falling asleep.
I ran to the front of the bus and I said, Kevin, these kids are telling me they're tired right now. And Kevin, without even thinking about it, took his shirt off and tore it into little pieces. And Mary we just started tearing it up as quickly as we could to make filters for these kids to breathe.
They dipped the rags in water. The harrowing truck continued. McKay drove in the middle of the road to avoid burning trees and buildings. Coming down the hill, the sky becomes lighter, the tension eases. The adults intentionally make some light comments about having pancakes and a black bear surviving at the Black Bear Diner.
It was great. I mean, after all that tenseness, we really needed a joke to just loosen everything up.
Then, back between walls of fire.
When we turned the corner, there we were, back again. And it was awful. I just felt like this was never going to end.
Just being gridlock trapped in the road. There was nowhere for us to go. The traffic wasn't moving. And then our last stretch too, I think that was the moment I thought that we might not make it out.
Abby's home burned, so did Charlotte's and Kevin's. Mary's still stands. Homes were lost, but in the end, everyone on the bus survived.
Safety is such an important part of a bus driver's role, and you know, I must have paid close attention.
A reference to the class he took on how to keep his precious passengers safe.
That was Paul Verkaman reporting. Amazing story. It's hard to believe that the kids are still going to school if they're that close to the fire.
That's true. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Took his shirt off.
As you can see from that story, yeah, very
hero there.
dangerous for them.
5:21 right now.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Instagram accidentally exposed some user passwords through its data download tool. What this means for users going forward.
And next half hour, how some students at our Bayshore High School are putting their carpentry skills to good use. That story and more news on the way on Good Morning Suncoast.
Where to go and what to do in Birmingham, Alabama. Personalized just for you. Find your sweet spots at alabama.travel/sweetspot.
Happy Honda Days are here, and you're gonna like the holiday clearance savings. Save on the Accord, on sale for just $249 a month. That's the North American car of the year for less than the competition. Our most impressive Honda ever, on clearance for only $249 a month, loaded with more options, including a turbocharged engine and Honda Sensing. Do not miss these Honda clearance savings this week at your local Honda dealer.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
The days of tech giants getting free rein could soon be over. In a new interview, Apple CEO Tim Cook says regulation is likely coming.
The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, is regulation coming to Silicon Valley?
In an interview with HBO, Apple CEO Tim Cook says regulation of big tech companies is now inevitable. Cook says he believes Congress will pass some level of regulation because, as he puts it, the free market is not working when it comes to protecting users' privacy. And you may want to change your Instagram password.
Yeah, speaking of privacy, the company says a small number of people's passwords may have been exposed during a security bug. Instagram says the problem has been fixed and they promise it won't happen again. YouTube is running free movies.
But there's a catch. The free movies will come with ads. The titles come from major Hollywood studios and include some old blockbusters like The Terminator. There may eventually be services such as exclusive screenings of new films.
Terminator, 20 years, 30 years old? Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Allstate.
A once in 500-year storm should happen every 500 years, right? Fact is, there have been 26 in the last decade. Allstate is adapting with drones to assess home damage sooner. And if a flying object damages your car, you can snap a photo and get your claim processed in hours, not days. Plus, Allstate can pay your claim in minutes. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Searching for a way to help stop your cold sore? Only Abreva can get rid of it in as little as 2.5 days when used at the first sign. Abreva starts to work immediately to block the virus and protect healthy cells. Abreva acts on it so you can too.
Forget about vacuuming for weeks. The new Roomba i7 Plus with clean base automatic dirt disposal empties the Roomba bin for you, so dirt is off your hands. If it's not from iRobot, it's not a Roomba.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Mascara adds depth to the eyes. Lipstick gives the mouth color and definition. And ALS paralyzes the body.
You look great, Mom. Thank you.
Slowly taking away the ability to move and eventually breathe.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Coming up, a developing story this morning as the first wave of Central American migrants are at the U.S.-Mexico border. President Trump's warning to them.
Plus, California is mourning the loss of at least 77 people after wildfires continue to destroy the area when fire officials plan on having it contained.
And are you aggravated by holiday music? Why, health experts say your reaction to those early holiday tunes has a lot to do with how your brain associates them with the holiday season. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm certainly not aggravated by holiday music. What about you?
I like it in small doses.
Okay.
I admit.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to it like 24/7 or anything, but on the way to work or while cleaning the house or something.
Well, if you heard John Scalzi's voice on Friday, you knew he was in trouble. He did get sick, and Josh Stone has agreed to come in and help us out. Good morning, Josh.
I think his new name is the Godfather.
You think?
Yeah, why not? You know? Holiday music, though, before Thanksgiving, that's where it gets a little iffy.
Exactly.
I'm in support.
Thanksgiving, Turkey Day first, then we'll go to the holiday music. Anyway, right now, nice temperatures, mid to upper 60s along the Suncoast on this Monday morning. The radar is quiet, though. Later on today, we could have a few sprinkles that kind of scatter the Suncoast, not really a big deal. We do have some moisture above us, bringing us mostly cloudy skies in our forecast today. And really not much to tell you other than that. Mostly cloudy skies, upper 70s along the coast, lower 80s inland, and a slight chance for shower activity later today. And of course, we'll break down the 7-day outlook in just a few minutes from now. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Josh. Here's a live shot now of the Green Bridge that connects Palmetto and Bradenton. It's going to be reduced to one lane southbound until December, but we should point out this will be overnight construction. So it shouldn't cause any issues with the commute itself. That's good news because that bridge gets packed by about 7:30 or 8 a.m. every day. Let's go to the maps right now and show you the scene in Manatee County. First off, not much to report. Little congestion southbound 301 as you cross over 70 toward University. Farther south, here's the scene now in the northern half of Sarasota County. All right, there it is. Not much to report so far. And if we can continue showing farther south, this is the South County map. And a little red there, 41 northbound as you travel from War Mineral Springs from Northport into Venice.
It's 5:32 on your Monday morning. Now to a developing story. The first wave of Central American migrants is on the U.S.-Mexico border. Thousands more are expected to follow suit. But as John Lawrence tells us, President Trump is still vowing to prevent them from crossing over.
President Trump makes it clear he wants Congress to fund his long-promised border wall.
When you look at the caravans, when you look at the mess, when you look at the people coming in, this would be a very good time to do a shutdown.
Mr. Trump referring to the groups of migrants who made it across Mexico hoping to seek asylum in the United States. The president also taking to Twitter over the weekend saying illegal immigrants trying to come into the USA will be detained or turned away. In another tweet, Mr. Trump saying, "The U.S. is ill-prepared for this invasion and will not stand for it. Go home."
We have large numbers of people trying to get into our country. I must say the reason it's increased so much is because we're doing so well as opposed to the rest of the world.
In Tijuana Sunday, protesters upset with the influx of several hundred migrants, also calling for them to retreat. But more are coming. A group of about 200 migrants left El Salvador this weekend.
This migrant mom says she is happy because she has more hope because we are getting closer to the United States.
And additional caravans are expected to leave their native countries in the coming weeks. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The first batch of people filled out paperwork for asylum on Friday. Some are part of the LGBTQ community and say they face discrimination in their home countries.
Well, this is the worst story you'll hear all day. A suspected child rapist in Tennessee has been arrested in Alabama. 33-year-old Simon Porter is accused of raping a 16-month-old boy in Tennessee 9 days ago. Porter was arrested in Alabama on Sunday. According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, he'll be transferred to Tennessee to face charges. On to the California wildfires now, where the death toll is now up to 79. A vigil was held yesterday for the victims in the destroyed town of Paradise. The so-called campfire tore through 149,000 acres. More than 1,200 people remain unaccounted for. It is the deadliest and most destructive fire in that state's history. Firefighters predict the blaze won't be fully contained until the end of the month. It's been burning now for about 10 days.
An update now on the overcrowding at Venice High School. The Sarasota County School District says it'll be looking for input from parents. Officials want to know whether people would rather see a brand new high school built or an extension of its current high school. The school, which serves Venice, West Villages, and a pocket of Englewood, is currently 7% over capacity, and that number is only expected to rise.
You have to look for other ways to hold those kids. We always tell our principals we'll never have anyone sitting in classroom outside, that we'll always have a seat for every student. But where is that seat going to be? Is it in a permanent location like a new classroom wing, or is it going to be in a temporary location like a portable?
The districts will be taking all of the responses that they get to the December school board meeting, where they are expected to make a decision.
Students at Bayshore High School are putting their carpentry skills to good use. They're turning these shipping containers into tiny homes for local families in need. Some of the containers came from as far away as China. Students are using basic tools to refurbish these containers like saws and drills and tape measures. The builders say they have everything a family will need to live comfortably.
Basically everything in your average sized home has to fit in this small little container. From kitchen to living room to bathroom to bedroom.
I feel like it would be a good thing for this community, also for somebody, help them, provide them a home to live in instead of living on the streets.
Well, the group's goal is to get every homeless student and veteran off the streets and teach more students how to build these refurbished homes.
Planning to do a lot of traveling over the next few weeks? Well, here's some good news for your bank account. The average price of regular gas has dropped 12 cents a gallon over the past 2 weeks. The average now at around $2.72 per gallon nationwide. And if you need to fill up here on the Suncoast, according to the Gas Buddy app, the average price in Sarasota right now is about $2.38. The lowest you can find here is $2.22.
AAA will once again offer its tow-to-go service for those who drink too much over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. It's a free, confidential ride within a 10-mile radius, and it's good for up to 2 riders. It's available starting this Wednesday. It'll run through the holiday and end on Sunday morning.
The holiday season has a way of creeping up on us. One minute you're thinking about Thanksgiving plans when you turn on the radio, and boom, Christmas music. Now, according to health experts, your reaction to those early holiday tunes has a lot to do with how your brain associates them with the holiday season.
If it starts too soon and people tend to have stress responses to the holidays, it activates those stress responses early to shop, to produce a perfect holiday. If people are prone to that perfectionism, hearing Christmas music too soon can create those associations and ramp up the tension well before anything is really happening.
In a poll, 25% of Americans say the most stress-inducing part of the holidays is listening to music. One way experts say you can reduce the stress is to listen to something else if you feel overwhelmed by the Christmas music. And when shopping, maybe pop in some earbuds and listen to a tune you're more comfortable with. Today, the White House will present this year's Christmas tree. This is a video of last year's Christmas tree ceremony. This year's event is taking place today at 1 p.m. The tree will arrive from North Carolina by horse and carriage to the First Lady and President Trump.
A public tribute to Stan Lee is in the works. The late Marvel Comics visionary's company said that Lee didn't want a big public funeral, so he was laid to rest in a private ceremony. But the company is putting together a tribute benefiting the greatest creator of our time and the father of modern pop culture. Lee died last week at the age of 95. Still ahead, Florida's recount has finally come to a conclusion. We'll have the results and reaction on the races for U.S. Senator and also for Governor.
Now we're taking a live look. The city of New York, what a beautiful skyline. I'm sure it's a chilly morning there up north. Got some snow last week for what's happening here on the Suncoast. Let's head over to Josh Stone.
Not really chilly, a very nice, comfortable day, mild day for us as we're going to top out in the upper 70s and inland lower 80s. We'll have mostly cloudy skies in our forecast. Very slight chance for shower activity later on today. But what does the rest of the week look for us, especially on Turkey Day? We'll let you know in a few minutes.
It's year-end clearance time at every Ghetto location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Gettle.com. And Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Gettle dealership near you. Gettle's got it. At Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hey, good morning to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Dillon for John Scalzi. Today we're looking at our radar on this Monday morning, and it is quiet. Now there could be a few showers that develop later on today, but right now it is quiet. So no issues with any sort of heavy rain or anything like that for our Monday morning commute. As far as our temperatures go, well, it's pretty mild anywhere you go along the Suncoast at this hour. Mid to upper 60s up and down the Suncoast. It's 66 in Sarasota. We have a northerly wind that's pretty light, about 5 miles per hour along the coast, maybe up to 7 miles per hour. But that's really about it, and that's going to be the case today. So we'll call for a north to northeasterly wind. As far as our headlines go today, light sprinkles in the forecast. Mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. For Thanksgiving, we'll have a mild day with partly cloudy skies to mostly sunny skies. Best chance for rain, for widespread rain activity, even thunderstorms come our way on Saturday. Now, looking at the national picture as far as where the cold weather is, it's 11 degrees in Minot, North Dakota. So it's pretty cold for them. 26 in Minneapolis, 25 in Kansas City. Down here along the Suncoast, that's the place to be, my friend. Mid to upper 60s at this hour. Even some snow coming down here in the northern plains. Also some heavier showers in southeast Texas. Stretching along a boundary up through the Ohio River Valley, but for us, as you can see, mostly cloudy skies, and like I said, a few light sprinkles in the forecast today. The Futurecast does depict this, some light sprinkles taking place, but we're going to call for partly to mostly cloudy skies, little peaks of sunshine, but all in all, a pretty mild day for us on this Monday. Well, we still are in hurricane season. It officially ends in November. And we had a lot of activity, well, about a month ago, even 2 months ago, actually spikes on September 10th, and then the activity kind of goes down. October is a little bump here in the trend, and then as we get into November, well, the days are shorter, the water is cooling, and we have more of those more potent cold fronts that come down from Canada, and with a stronger jet stream that dips further north, the northern jet stream that dips further south, I should say, well, that causes wind shear, and any storms that do try to develop in the Atlantic or Caribbean, well, the tops get sheared off from the upper level winds. So November, we're starting to wind down the activity, and the evidence of that shows here in the tropics. Nothing to report at this time. For the boaters today, just watch out for a little patchy red tide, but we have a north wind in the forecast for you, 10 knots. Seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bay. Going to the beach today, expect mostly cloudy skies, UV index at 4, and temperature at the beach today, the upper 70s. Officially, we'll top out around the lower 80s here in Sarasota. And this trend of the low 80s, upper 70s continues for the rest of the work week. For Thanksgiving, well, high is 77, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, and a best chance for widespread rainfall comes our way into Friday night and into Saturday, as we have a cold front that sweeps on by to cloud up the skies, bring us widespread showers, even some thunderstorms after the front passes. Few showers on Sunday, and then we'll have mostly sunny skies on Monday. I'll take that 40% chance out on Monday, but I think the best chance for rain comes our way Saturday into Sunday, and then things start to wrap up as we get into next Monday. Back to you.
Thank you, Josh. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. Begin in Manatee County, where things are overall running very smoothly this morning. Some slight delays on US 301 as you head southbound over State Road 70. And as we head into the northern half of Sarasota County, you're seeing some delays on Fruitville Road as you head westbound toward I-75. Another slowdown on US 41 southbound as you head toward Osprey. As we head into the southern part of Sarasota County, you're seeing your usual delays around the Warm Mineral Springs area. That blip actually just disappeared, so overall there's nothing major to report at 5:47 on your Monday morning.
Well, the recount is officially over now, and it's Senator-elect Rick Scott and Governor-elect Ron DeSantis.
Our Marla Spence joins us live now in the studio with the latest. Marla.
Jess and Ray, the hard fight for the race to become Florida's next governor has come to an end over the weekend. Tallahassee Mayor and Democratic candidate Andrew Gillum officially conceded to his Republican opponent, former Congressman Ron DeSantis. Now, after a week of machine recounts and an extended deadline, results showed DeSantis leading Gillum just under 34,000 votes. However, the margin was not large enough under Florida law to require a hand recount. Now, Gillum made the announcement Saturday in a Facebook video.
RJ and I wanted to take a moment to congratulate Mr. DeSantis on becoming the next governor of the great state of Florida.
DeSantis responded on Twitter, calling the race a hard-fought campaign and calling on Florida to come together. President Trump also took to Twitter congratulating Gillum on having a tough and competitive race, also saying Gillum will be a strong Democrat warrior long into the future. Justin Ray.
Okay, thank you, Marla. A Princess cruise ship has returned to port in Fort Lauderdale minus one passenger. A woman fell off the cruise and her body wasn't recovered. As ABC's Ariel Reshiv tells us now, police believe she may have been pushed off the ship.
The mystery deepening in the death of a woman on board this Princess cruise ship as authorities comb the scene for clues. The 3,600-person vessel now docked in Florida. Passengers like Logan Tignor speaking out for the first time.
I would never expect that would happen on a cruise.
Saying the PA system sounded in the middle of the night, making an ominous announcement.
It was a rude awakening at 4 o'clock. They made the announcement right into our rooms.
News of the tragedy soon spreading.
We only found out afterwards when we arrived in Aruba that an accident had taken place. We couldn't get off the ship until the local authorities gave us permission.
The 52-year-old woman plummeting to her death onto a lifeboat. Aruban media reporting it happened after a struggle with a man. The FBI investigating the case as a possible murder. The woman's husband traveling with her on the trip, not considered a suspect. Princess Cruises saying, "We are cooperating fully with the investigating authorities and offer our sincere condolences to the family and those affected."
It appears Condoleezza Rice will not be making NFL history. ESPN reported that the former Secretary of State was being considered to replace fired Cleveland Browns coach Hugh Jackson. She would have been the first woman ever interviewed to be an NFL team's head coach, but Browns general manager says she has not been discussed for the position and that they are still compiling a list of potential candidates. Now, Rice has downplayed the report herself, saying that she's, quote, not ready to coach.
On to HealthSmart now. Months after it agreed to hold off raising prices after heavy pressure from President Trump, Pfizer now says it'll increase the prices of their drugs 41% in January. The prices, rather, of 41 drugs, I should say. Very different there. The prices will increase between 5 and 9% total. The effective medicine represents about 1 in 10 of their drug portfolio. The company says the price hikes will be offset by higher rebates and discounts offered by pharmacies and insurance companies.
Now take a look at this. Nearly 80 years overdue, a 93-year-old veteran in Tennessee finally received his high school diploma. Sam Stansel dropped out back in 1942 when he was a senior at Red Bank High. He went on to join the Navy and serve the country in World War II. Last week, the principal presented Stansel with his diploma in front of current students.
Once a lion, always a lion. Congratulations, Sam Stansel.
Stansel was also added to the high school's Hall of Fame.
He can change his resume now. That's great.
There you go. I'm sure he'll need it for all the jobs he's going to be getting.
Good for him. 5:51 will update the day's top news headlines next. First, here's a peek outside. We had a beautiful sunset last night. In fact, if you get a chance, go to my Facebook page, Ray Collins, ABC7. I took 5 different photos and asked viewers to pick the one they liked the most.
I made my vote, but I'll see what you guys want to see before I tell you which one I'm voting for. So we'll take a look at those coming up.
More news on the way.
Since 1847, the Grand Hotel has earned a worldwide reputation for elegance and hospitality. Now the Grand has been transformed with reimagined rooms and suites and exceptional fine dining and meeting spaces. The spa is more luxurious, and championship golf will test your game, all overlooking beautiful Mobile Bay. The Grand Hotel Golf Resort and Spa. Timeless elegance transformed. For reservations, visit grand1847.com.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jaffe Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
12 days after the election, Senator Bill Nelson has conceded to Rick Scott. So Senator-elect Scott won by about 10,000 votes. He'll be replaced by Governor-elect Ron DeSantis in January.
Plus, 2 death investigations are underway on the Suncoast. The first in Manatee County, where a man was found gunned down in his car on 17th Street East in Bradenton. The second is in Northport, where a husband is suspected of pushing down his wife, resulting in her death.
And later on today, Sarasota City Commissioners will discuss reducing the rules for short-term rentals. The move could make it easier for vacationers to avoid hotels.
Now let's head over to Josh Stone, who has a first look at our weather.
All right, thanks so much, Jess and Ray. Yeah, here's a look at our weekly forecast and mild conditions in it, no doubt about that. Upper 70s, lower 80s by Thanksgiving. A beautiful temperature of 77 degrees. The best chance for widespread rain comes our way Friday night and into Saturday with a 40% chance of shower and thunderstorm activity. Back to you.
All right, next hour we'll talk more about the options that Venice High School is facing, involving an expansion there, another high school build. It's not that old, but that's a story next hour.
All because of overcrowding. We'll be right back. It's 5:56.